Hello everyone. Now, believe it or not, I actually got back into reading the Diary of Wimpy Kid series this year. However though, it is now 2025, and these books are stressing me out way more than they used to for some reason. I'm guessing it's because it's too relatable to real life, and I'm trying to avoid real life as much as possible. I mean, not literally, obviously, I just exist in the real world at all times, but what I meant is, I'm trying to stay in my zone. Like, you feel bad for Greg going through all this bullying hell at his school and with his older brother. But the thing is, though, outside of some pretty lame-ass humor...
Somebody farted.
I actually think Rodrick might be the second most relatable person out of the immediate Heffley family. The first being Greg, of course, obviously. He just doesn't give a single damn. And he wants to avoid as much as possible if it's not related to his band, The Loaded Diaper. Man, and I thought I was a bad speller. I'll take the Mystery Machine any day over this.
You smell that salty sea air, Scoob? You know what that means, buddy.
So I think to wrap up this trilogy on Wimpy Kid, instead of analyzing a big chunk of one of the books, I'm just going to bring up a few points of interest about Rodrick throughout the 19 books. And yes, you heard me correctly. 19 books, with more to come most likely. This isn't Diary of a Wimpy Middle-Aged Man anymore. This is straight up Diary of a Dead Corpse. And actually, I still haven't read all the books anyway, so please forgive me when Diaper Overload doesn't get any attention. That one sounds like it has Rodrick written all over it. But without any further stalling, let's get started. Like I mentioned, Rodrick is lazy and he just doesn't care. But that doesn't really necessarily qualify him as a dumb ass. I mean, sometimes he kind of is, which we'll get to in a minute, but at least he's more intelligent than his Uncle Gary, in which this episode was going to be about, but I couldn't find enough information about him. There was one book where it was stated that back when Rodrick was in 10th grade, his dad would normally be the one who types up his school essays, until, mom comes in and is like, yeah, this has gotta stop. Once the task was handed down to Rodrick, he would constantly keep bugging his dad, asking him questions such as, where's the spacebar at again, and stuff like that. Yeah, it should be pretty clear that Rodrick knows damn well that the largest key on the keyboard is the spacebar. Unless, of course, he's a noob with computers, which is possible and all, but I'm pretty confident he was just pretending not to know just so he could get out of doing the essay. The times Rodrick did actually try to make his own report would have been before he was in high school. Like the little poem he created named 100 Years Ago. I'm going to read the poem word for word, and after I'm finished you can tell me if Rodrick is all that intelligent or not. Ahem. Me, and shit. Okay. Sometimes I sit and wonder about stuff I don't know, like what the heck the Earth was like 100 years ago. Did cavemen ride on dinosaurs? Did flowers even grow? Well, we could guess, but that was 100 years ago. I wish they built a time machine and picked me to go to check out what the scene was like 100 years ago. Did giant spiders rule the Earth? Were deserts filled with snow? I wonder what the story was 100 years ago. Okay, yeah, that was unneeded, Kale. So, he flunked that paper, and I bet you can tell why. In the teacher's eyes, it was most likely because that just wasn't the assignment, and it needed to be much longer. In my eyes, however, he would have flunked big time because the number he picked was totally inexcusable. There are people that were alive 100 years ago that are still alive today, and they could tell you with full confidence it was not the Stone Age. Deserts were filled with sand, spiders were the same size as they are today, and yes, flowers did indeed grow. You should have made it like 1 billion years ago or something. And speaking on Rodrick not being nearly as smart as Greg, during a period where he was fixing his van up, Greg brought to him a little story that he had created. I don't remember why exactly, possibly it's because Greg wanted Rodrick to check for errors or something, but we already know he's not the guy for the job, so... It was basically about a monkey that wrecks shit up. Even when he tries to fix his mistakes and tries to fix something, he makes it even worse. I believe they call it an allegory, where you think the story means one thing, but it ends up meaning something different. I didn't really read Greg's monkey tale before starting this episode, so I can't really tell you what it's really supposed to mean. But after Rodrick was done reading it, he's basically like, monkeys don't understand English, stupid. Motherfucker don't know what make-believe is, seriously. Yeah, Rodrick basically goes with his own flow about 98% of the time. Like, he goes out and buys crap that his parents normally wouldn't want in the house, such as the time that Rodrick had an explicit music CD, and Greg got a hold of it. Greg thought he was wearing headphones, but he really wasn't, and he just turned it up to full blast, and he's like, man, I can really tell why this is explicit. And this was during the time where the family's supposed to be sleeping, nonetheless. Yeah, Dad comes running downstairs, and it's not pretty. And to make things even funnier, Rodrick owned a magazine in which the cover showed a woman in a bikini on the hood of a car. And Manny got a hold of that and brought it to his preschool class for show and tell. Show and hell. That didn't go down well either, and Susan the mom made Rodrick write an apology letter to Manny's teacher the same way that she would have made Manny write an apology to his teacher. A little something like that. Actually, now that I think about it, I owe you guys an apology as well. Let me just... There we go. Hopefully this will make up for it. My ass. But I believe that does it for this episode, so I will see you around. Goodbye.